So let's do a little experiment here together now. As you know, many projects have problems and end up into trouble and unfortunately are not successful or they don't deliver on time. And what do you think? What could be the main or typical problem areas that we see why projects don't deliver on time? Maybe you can think about some of them, one or several if you have them, and write them down on a paper. Actually, I recommend you to stop the video now for a little while and write them down on a paper, and then we can look at it a little bit together here. I will give you some ideas. But I think it's good if you think yourself first. So let's come back in a few seconds. Okay, have you been thinking? Let's have a look. These could be very typical problem areas that we see in a project. Typically, we often have big problems with the scope and the requirements. They actually seem to be many of the key reasons why many projects fail. And that we don't fulfill expectations from the customer or the receiver of the project. Maybe we have bad communication in the project also. We don't manage risks properly. We don't manage changes properly. Maybe we don't even plan properly, and we don't follow up properly. So there are many problem areas that we need to think of. Actually, being a project manager is a complicated work. You need to consider lots of different things. And if you fail on some of them, unfortunately, the projects will not be successful. That's also then what we want to learn here in this course, to use good models and methods and tools to ensure that we avoid these problems. And there could be that you have models and methods in place to handle many of these things, but maybe they're not properly used. Maybe not people know about them. Maybe they're not easy to understand. Maybe that you don't have common tools or common methods. So that, a proposal here then is to try to have these common methods and tools based on a model, or maybe using the particular model like TPMM. And these models, they should cover these so-called project management knowledge areas. As you can see here, we have 11 knowledge areas, which maybe if you have seen the PMI standard before, you're a little bit surprised and think there should be only 10. But we actually have 11 knowledge areas, and you will recognize 10 of them, and there's one extra. If you have a quick look, maybe you could see which is the extra one. Well, I give you a hint. It's the third one here, the value. We have that one as an additional one because we actually distinguish here between risks, for example. There should be both negative when we talk about risk management, but they could also be positive, see opportunities. But it's not only that. It's about actually, as I said before, creating value. We must work as a part of the project to ensure we get the best possible value out of the project. I like to talk about benefits also, that we really get to see the benefits from the customer point of view. So that third one is about that, to ensure that we have activities planned and ongoing in the project that generate value, most possible value. As you can see, we also then have, if you haven't seen this before, we have stakeholder management. You have to be good in stakeholder management, which we will cover here in one of the courses. We also have then scope management. We have quality management, procurement management, time management, cost management, resources, risk, and communications management. So all those 10, there's one missing I haven't mentioned yet. I will do that now. The last one, but all of them we need to work on as a project manager to be successful in our project. And to ensure we work well with all of these that I just mentioned, we have the last one, which is on the top of the row here, integration. Because as a project manager, you should be a good integrator to ensure that all these knowledge areas are worked on with you yourself, but also making use of the people you have in your team or in your project. So that all of this, because there are, of course, lots of dependencies in between all these knowledge areas. So we need to be good in working with all of them at the same time. And that we call integration management. Because we want to avoid this situation, maybe some of you have seen, or maybe you have seen this picture before. It's a quite famous picture about product management, and also shows very well the very typical problem that we unfortunately see in many projects. Depending a bit on the size of the project and the complexity of the project, but unfortunately something up to 2 out of 3 projects actually fail and is not delivered on time, does not fulfill the budget that we expected, and don't get happy customers or satisfied customers, or don't meet the quality requirements expected on this project, or don't generate then the value we have seen. And it could very well be, as you can see here in these 10 different pictures, that we have not understood the customer and the needs and expectations very well for this particular project. As you can see, it could be how the customer explained it is one way, how the product leader understood it or the product manager understood it, how the analyst designed it, how the programmer wrote it, how the business consultant described it, that's something very nice, or how the product was documented, not very much. What operations installed, something very simple, and how the customer was billed. Of course, we want to see here, want to bill a lot, but we should not bill more than we can really do, but it could be like that. And then how it was supported. Very often we forget about the maintenance and support, so not much. But and then we see in the last one here what the customers really needed. So we need to ensure we have the mechanism in place in the beginning of the project and during the project, so we really understand what the customer wants and really needs, and then ensure that that is delivered. This is key to very good product management, and we will highlight that here now and in the coming courses also, and also in a specific course about business analysis.